It's live on the internet.
That's all your Southern California people with the five, the 401.
Yeah. We have the 101, the 202, the 60.
It's
So happy Monday. Let's hear some wins over the weekend.
I ran a 5K, hot chocolate run, anything for food, like a dog.
Ran a 5K.
Ran walk.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna just call it you ran a 5K.
Yeah.
No reason to over define success.
Yeah, that's awesome, Joanne.
Way to go, girl.
Yeah, it's the fourth time I did it. So it's kind of a tradition. I do it with my sister and my cousin every year.
There you go.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I did 3 open houses this weekend. Got some good leads.
Heck yeah. I ran a car show.
Oh, that was this weekend?
That was Saturday.
Nice.
It was good stuff. Only had one altercation with an angry driver and got that resolved pretty quickly. Grumpy old dudes in their classic cars, I tell you. What are the wins?
Uh,
Celebrations.
I organized an impromptu volleyball day with my friends and some clients that I'm helping. Friends that turned into clients. That was cool.
Man, that sun is just in the wrong place, isn't it?
Your halo, because you're an angel.
Oh, girl, I got my black wings on today. I am not blessing this world with goodness. I've already pissed off 2 people today. And that's going to be the crux of our conversation. One of my wins is I fired a seller. So, and we're going to talk about that today. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, concerns before I jump into our mindset reset for today?
No, I want to hear this.
Oh, yeah. Right. Today is going to be based around the willingness to walk away. Last Monday, we talked about the willingness for success, and it just so happens that this week's lesson falls into the willingness to walk away, protecting your standards. I had a seller that yesterday, I'm driving to Gleason, which is about 2 hours from my house, to do a walkthrough on 160 acres of land. You guys saw my Facebook stories. You could see some of it. It was pretty cool. Really good looking land. And on the way there, just blowing my phone up, talking all kinds of madness. A little backstory. I've been talking with this lady since November of last year. Took a while to get her house ready for sale. I have a verbal offer. She's listed at 415. We got a verbal offer at 390. And I said, hey, just so you know, this is a verbal offer. Just that's all it is. And she's like, okay, I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, but just let you know, this is just a verbal. We have nothing in paper yet. This is just where they would be at. Plus, we have other showings scheduled, so let's move forward. Well, that day, she said, okay, I'm great with it. She sends me a bunch of emojis, say, tell them congratulations. Heart eyes, kissy face, heart eyes. I said, not yet, my friend. We need to get this offer officially sent. Once we get it accepted, we'll need to put some serious boots on the ground to find you a new home. Kind of getting after it, right? Doing the things that realtors do. We help, we check, we make sure. So I met with her lender, talked to her about some things, and she sends me another message, says all these houses that she loves, one, two, and three, her top three. She goes, actually, my first favorite still, not sure if we could talk them down on the price, but I'd love this house. Bunch of heart emojis, right? By getting the vibe that she's in, right? We see this trend of excitement. I'm in, the process is moving. Nothing, right? Then I met with the lender. We had lunch on Thursday. Just happens to be Mr. Lemons, my bald brother. We talked about other deals that we've got working and just let her know, hey, just confirmed with the lender, you're going to need to rent for at least a couple months afterwards because we got to pay off all that debt with all your proceeds to be able to get your credit to recycle. Not a problem, right? We can get her a short-term rental. Now it changes. I have to move. I may have to move. We got to find a house. I can't afford to here. Maybe Florida, Alabama, Georgia. How long until I can buy? I'm also putting down 200,000. I'm like, okay, well, the cheap states are in the Midwest. That's a great question for Steve. I wish I had that answer, right? She's asking me, would a cosigner work? So again, everything seems like it's on the level. I understand there's some scarcity mindset here. I got to move and I can't find anything that's going to be the same. She goes, well, I'm fine. I have 39 days. So she's in her mind already identified. She's got 39. I don't know where she got 39 days from. No one gave her a timeline because, again, go back. Do we have an offer yet? No, we've got a verbal. And even a verbal, no timeline. She goes, please, no more text today, tomorrow, unless I ask. I'm homeless, so back off to everyone. So my last text was last text or don't sell the house. Then a bunch of rambling and rattling, and I just not going to repeat a lot of it because it's vulgar. And I said, my response, I've said it multiple times to really look if selling makes sense to you. You won't be able to rent in as nice of an area or have as nice of a house anywhere near what you pay monthly now. If you want to pull the house off the market, we can. Would you pay me back for all the marketing we've spent? I want to make sure you're making a smart decision. Do we see a problem with that message?
No.
Right?
What marketing she spent.
Yeah. All the marketing that I put out there, all the marketing and stuff to pull the house off the market, I just said, hey, would you pay me back a couple $100, right? $900 actually. Then it's blank me. All right, then I'll lose 18,000 plus fine. I've co-seeded, losing everything. Now is not the time to hold out hands. I'm losing $20,000 to sell this house. Friendly reminder, I'll get your money. Don't worry. Need to figure this out because I have nothing. So I respond in all capitals. Do not sell the house. Cut your budget. Find a way to stay there. You don't need to lose. No one is forcing you to sell the house. Don't worry, though. You'll be compensated about 18,000 by taking this offer. Who's reimbursing me? So my response, yes, I will be compensated if I sold the house. That's a professional fee. You don't have to accept the offer. I feel like now that we know that you're not able to buy right away, I think it's best that you stay there. Pull the house off the market. Don't sell it. Again, my professional opinion in this situation is, hey, lady, not a good idea to sell the house. You've already exposed to me your financial and mental situation. I don't think it's in your best interest to sell the house.
So do you think she should sell the house?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Next message. Give me till tomorrow to see the extent I'm run over.
What?
Then she responds back. This is 2 hours later. Sell it. But I'll ask Steve, where am I going to get the first and last month's rent? I have nothing, remember? I was like, we can always ask for time after closing so you can get the money and then we can move. Yes, after closing, where am I supposed to live? After closing, last time I met, there was gone. Now I rent for her too, right? It's, again, ramblings. $18,000 below, and I'm still asking for her money. Looking Monday for rentals. I was like, once we close, you'll have the money, but it'll take some time so you can look at rentals now and we can get a plan in place and set expectations for once you close on your house. 24 hours later, you'll have your money. That's assuming rentals aren't booked. I haven't had any time to pay my debts this month. I told him that I was short at the end of the sick with everything. Accepting 9K is still getting paid in 3 days. I don't know where this is coming from. I was like, we don't even have an offer yet. It was a verbal. Left it be. That's 3 days later. So yesterday, showing requested at 2 p.m. today. Please confirm that's okay for you. I mean, that was probably the most hostile text I've ever sent. Don't you agree? Please confirm that's okay for you. I'm not going to read the 4.5 pages scrolling pages on your phone of text messages this lady sent me.
In
I'm
response to your showing request?
yeah. After yesterday, it's a no. No showing today. It's my first day out of bed because people like you walk all over me, see a price tag, and just take like everyone else. Not going to talk about the rest of it because it's HIPAA issues, I really believe. I don't want to sell for $18,000 less than that. I'm selling for 20K below. I trusted you. I trusted you for no reason. Guess what? Instead, you threatened me. Threatened, do you have money for pictures? Your exact words. You didn't have to threaten me. My mom owned a realtor office for Century 21, and you threatened me knowing I cannot pay for pictures. Fabi just her face plant just said it all. She's okay, right? We're seeing a situation here. So no showings until midweek. I'm recovering from your damage. People's damage. I'm sick of recovering from other people's mess stopped in my lap.
Oh, I can't handle victim mindset. Can't
It's
do
okay.
it.
It's okay. So I tried to call her because I'm clearly there's something off here. I'm like, what? There's a break in communication. Never once told her she had to pay me for the photos. I said, would you compensate me back for the marketing we've spent? She says, yeah, no, not today, Wednesday. So I tell the other agent, hey, sorry, I can't show the house today. Seller's not feeling well. I'm doing my job. Too upset to talk because I called her. She didn't answer. Too upset to talk. Remember, kind of worst case scenario. I don't owe you. I don't owe anybody. I do owe my self-care. What part of no showings or brushing my teeth makes you think taking a call is a good idea? I'm exhausted. But hey, you'll get your money no matter what. I trusted you. Wednesday, talk Tuesday. I don't owe you anything ever. So I don't respond. I'm driving 2.5 hours, or about 2 hours, to Gleason. So I'm in the middle of nowhere at this point. So she sends me back again, 413 marking estimate, because I sent her a screenshot saying 396, and she sent me the Zillow estimate, which is just one of 5 companies you can get different valuations from. Again, 413, you're not doing your job. I'll pay you $1 a month since money and you only matter.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if you guys know this about me. I am not the type of dog you put in the corner. You will get bit. There is one thing about me that I am struggled with my entire life, and that is saying nothing. Keeping my mouth shut because I am a fighter. I will come out of the corner swinging. And that's a problem when you're trying to stay professional. So today's conversation about the willingness to walk away, for me, it was reaching out to someone else. I sent a screen recording of this entire conversation to my wife and said, please read this. Am I seeing something wrong? My wife responds, and she's a very good advocate because she understands the fighter in me. So she's like, yes, definitely erratic, not making a lot of sense, and definitely unprofessional. And she said, well, I was like, what are your thoughts? She goes, cut the contract, tell her to find someone else. You're done. You don't need aggression, miscommunication, and beratement of your character.
Agreed.
And I was like, you know what? Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. So I get home and I want to try this exercise. So I upload the entirety of the conversation. We're talking every single piece of this conversation into my AI, right? And I said all the screenshots. We're talking. Let me see where it's at. Damn, did I already delete it? I think I might have. Embracing challenging opportunity. I must have deleted it. But anyways, I put it all in the broker bot, which is our AI that we use. Actually, I use ChatGPT also. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, I want your insight. Could you please give me some insight on this conversation? So I pulled the entirety of this thing in here. And I just wanted to get a frame of reference. The overall vibe of these messages is you're willing to handle things very emotionally charged and complex real estate situation. You've balanced professionalism, patience, empathy while engaging. Managing a client who's highly stressed, anxious, and struggling with personal and financial instability. I agree. The challenges you're facing is the client appears to be struggling with anxiety, financial instability, and a deep sense of distrust. Their communication is erratic and sometimes cooperative, at times accusatory. They are wavering on selling, struggling to grasp market realities, and emotionally attacking the situation. They are shifting between blame and reliance on you to fix their problems. Your vibe, I love it how it says your vibe. Your vibe is you're firm but compassionate, rational but understanding, and professional but not cold. A solid balance for dealing with high stress transactions like this. You maintain control of the conversation, offer solutions, and keep deals moving while being mindful of the client's emotional state. Final thought, you're doing a great job of navigating a tough situation. It's clear you care about helping them, but you're also setting boundaries and making sure that they don't make impulsive decisions that could hurt them in the long run. Keep that balance and make sure you protect your own energy. It's easy to get drained by clients like this. We can all see that, right? I handled this a lot. I was like, this is a great opportunity for a Monday call because I'm like, I'm going to show real world examples. So, and I asked the AI. I already asked my wife. We already have a game plan. My wife and I know we're canceling this. I don't deal with crazy. I'm not in business with crazy. And if one of you agents want to get crazy, guess what? Where's my scissors? I had someone took my scissors because I cut you out too. Protect yourself. Right? So I was like, hey, what should I do? What should I send back as the text to her from today? My first thought is to cancel the contract, cut my losses, and not be in business with crazy. The AI said, given the way that today's message is played out, it looks like the client is spiraling, lashing out, blaming you, and being irrational about the situation. She's shifting from extreme distrust to financial desperation, and that's a huge liability for you. I want you all to see that. It's a huge liability. Now, I already saw that because the moment she started saying, you're threatening me, right? That right there is a trigger term for me. I might have a threatening disposition. I'm a big dude, but I'm a teddy bear. I will never threaten somebody. That can be proved. I would never threaten anybody. I'm just let people go, right? Life's too important for me. Given the way that today's message is played out, that's a huge liability for you. Cancel the contract. Best if you see no path forward and don't want more stress. Based on what you guys know, do you see the path forward? No. Multiple times I've instructed her, please.
Do.
Huh?
It sounds like a great opportunity for a referral.
Not even that. I heard it. Like Jess even said the same thing. She goes, what about Mikey? Mikey deals. I'm like, I'm not going to.
No, not to somebody you
You
like.
don't put that on your friends.
Send it to the person that sent you the bag of dicks.
But that's the thing is I'm just gonna walk away from it. That's the thing. So if she's uncooperative, irrational, making your life hell, cut ties before it gets worse. She's already talking about threatening her and making vague accusations, not a good sign. She's creating an emotional and financial black hole that could drain your time and reputation. Well, we know that 90% of people care about your online reviews. Why is that?
That's where most of the shopping's done.
First thing they do.
I would say that's where it begins. Yeah.
Yeah, they look into who you are. They want to make
Maybe.
sure you're worth working with. Right? I love the AI. Mine is so well trained because it knows me and it's helped me through tough situations. It says best move, politely cancel the contract. Fantastic. So I get a text message. Given everything going on, I don't think it's a good fit for either of us anymore. It's clear that this process is causing you more stress than it should, and I don't want to add to that. I'll be sending over the cancellation paperwork so you can move forward in a way that works best for you. Wishing you all the best. And I love this about the AI. It gives me the bullet points. Firm but professional, takes the pressure off of you, and ends things clearly. No accusations, no back and forth, end. And it then, at the end of it, I want to showcase this. If she tries to argue or guilt trip you after that, do not engage. Bold capitals. Just send the paperwork and be done with it. I know walking away from a deal sucks, but some clients just aren't worth the mental and emotional strain. This one is a ticking time bomb. Cut your losses, protect your sanity and your reputation.
Your AI said sucks.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I said mine's well trained. Very well. Oh. And so I was like, okay, great. Thank you so much. I was like, and I asked it, I was like, am I wrong in this situation? Based on the messages, you're absolutely not in the wrong here. It looks like you've been very patient, professional, and supportive despite the client's erratic behavior. You provided guidance, options, and a clear path forward, but the emotional, volatile, inconsistent, and blaming you for the outside things of your control. What you should do, terminate the contract, walk away, report it to the lead source, and move on. Some deals just aren't worth it, and this is one of them. Final thought, the client is emotionally draining you and could turn into a major liability. You don't need that stress. Cutting ties now will save you a massive headache down the line. You're making the right call.
Way too much crazy for one Sunday.
Right. Then I get a text message from her this morning. I agree. What did it was you wanting your money back. All my life, people want from me is money. So I'll figure it out. I wish you the best. Moving forward, don't ask a broke woman collecting coins for dog food to pay you back for pictures. I was very sick yesterday, and since you asked me that, you asked a disabled, financially troubled person to fix you. Welcome to my world of people. Best of luck. Again, she is setting a trap. Do you see it? This is real life, people. I want to be exposing. I want to expose you to this so that you can see patterns. So my response, again, the agreement was to sell your home and invest time. I invested time and money into marketing under that understanding. When you stated you weren't planning to sell from 2 to 8 years, that's after she said, well, I won't sell it. I can't afford to sell it. I'll just wait 2 to 8 years. That was what prompted me to request for reimbursement. It's not about wanting money from you. It's about honoring a commitment. Either way, I wish you the best moving forward. Even though you got that dog in you and you want to fight, put it down because those things will only come up to bite you in the butt. Be willing to walk away. So she goes, I just got this message. That is fine. I'll pay it. Wasix only said, are you going to pay me back for pictures? I tried to keep it professional. Send me the bill ASAP. I honor debit when it explained correctly, not when it's a knee-jerk reaction to your suggestion $18,000 less more than fair. Complete lack of communication, complete lack of help. Before hiring you, I begged you, I'm going to need you to hold my hand. Now look off to hospital because I put everyone first. Send the bill. I will pay in increments. I'm not going to send her the bill. I'm literally going to cut ties. I will file this as a learning experiment. I've actually not even going to put myself on property. Christina's going to take the lockbox off for me because she doesn't know my vehicle. The sign's already been ordered down, and I've stripped the MLS of every photo I've taken and the descriptions. And the description says canceled, and the agent oil mark says canceled by broker. You can't spin the narrative when you control it. So here's some key points to think about. Your value is non-negotiable, right? You guys see that. If a client doesn't trust your expertise, they're not the right fit. How many times do you think I told her, don't sell the house?
A bunch.
Did she follow my advice?
No.
She just became a big liability because now she's going to blame me for things instead of honoring my advice. Your time and energy are your most valuable resources. Our time is finite. You can't go to Amazon and order a crate load of time. You can if it's spelled Thyme, though. Only one person understands that joke because they cook. Thank you, Chris. Guys, I wrote that joke just for you. Come on now.
It was a good dad joke.
Yeah, don't waste time on the wrong people. Because if we're always focused in a scarcity mindset, we may hold on to deals that are bad for us. Because holding on to bad deals keeps you from better opportunities. I've gone over to this lady's house, helped her clean. I've changed out the light bulbs in her house for free. I've helped her get it organized. I've given her my landscaper and paid for the expense there. Yeah, you're right. I didn't help her. I don't mind holding your hand through the process, but I'm not going to accept being berated and my character being challenged because you don't like the outcome. I'm sorry you paid too much for that house 6 months ago. That's when she bought it. She paid too much 6 months ago. And somehow that's my fault. And that's okay because victims will always do the beautiful thing of making you a villain. And the best thing you can do is allow them to. because you're going to be a villain in their story. You can be the hero, but the moment they want to go back to being a victim again, they will make you the villain.
Exactly.
And I'm good. I'm good with being the villain because walking away is a power move. Oh, Dan, I see you got another canceled listing. Yeah, I don't deal with crazy. It shows confidence, control, and a commitment to work with the right people. Well, what happened to that listing you took? I saw you got canceled. You're right. I got out of business with the wrong people. Like I'm helping another agent finish a deal with crazy. I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it for the other agent involved. I'm not doing it for myself. Because if it were me that were the front part of this conversation, there would be a big, hey, go kick rocks barefoot. Go to your bedroom, find the softest, warmest, fuzziest pair of socks you have, go out in the desert and kick rocks. Okay? I'm not dealing with crazy. And I don't want any of you guys to do it also because sometimes the best deal is the one you don't take. Every one of us in our careers are going to have the story of crazy. We're going to have a situation you're like, I should have never taken that deal. It was a headache, it was a heartache, it was a basket case of crazy. But because we were in a scarcity mindset, we thought we had to.
I think we're going to see a lot of that
We're
coming,
going.
in the future, like the next year or two, with people buying too high and not really being able to afford it like they thought because they were told that interest rates were coming down and they could refinance.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad agency out there that's going to create headaches for good agents like you. So remember, success isn't about saying yes, it's about knowing when to say no. Counterproductive to last week's conversation, the willingness to be successful is here's the willingness to walk away. I don't like losing money. I hate it. So I don't gamble. I hate throwing money at something. However, this might just be the best investment I've ever made. This $800 to find out what this lady is all about might be the best investment I've ever made. Because if I'd have kept the deal and I'd have walked her through it and I'd help her buy another house, what's to say that she wouldn't have me on the hook for a larger lawsuit? And do people sue because it's right? They sue because they feel like it. People are litigious because they feel like they can. And unfortunately, how many people out there win lawsuits that were wrong? Too damn much. So remember, if it don't feel right, if it don't seem right, and it's stealing away your time and energy, don't do it. Whether you're in business or in life, holding on to something that you need to release might be the best thing for you. Whether it's a bad deal, a toxic relationship, or a limiting belief. What would change if you let it go? Look at that, right on the dot, 8:30. Thank you guys for letting me share my story this morning. What'd you hear? We'll go a little longer.
I have a quick question.
Not yet.
Okay.
What'd you hear?
You don't have to work
Crazy.
with everybody.
What was that?
So you don't have to work with everybody.
You don't. You don't have to work with everybody. You get to choose your clientele. What else?
Protect your time and your mental state.
Yeah. Guys, this. Go ahead, Joanne.
Well, I'm not just going to apply this just for clients, just my whole life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dan and I, we have a mutual acquaintance, and he knows that I basically, after about 8 months of meeting this person and trying to help him out, I just cut him off because I've dealt with some toxic situations that put me into a roughly about a 5-year spiral of consequences that I had to take care of, and so I'm just never going to put myself in that position again.
I'm very trusting to a point, but also like the moment somebody kind of challenges my peace, I know not to deal with that person the same kind. Everyone deserves your energy, but not everyone deserves it equally. Now, this lady is probably going to call, text, email, whatever. She might even reach out to the broker at some point. But I got my ducks in a row. And I will tell my supervisor and my legal broker and say, hey, listen, I fired her. And here's why. I got documentation. But also, my broker is going to support it like, oh, you didn't want to be in business with it? That's fine. Totally understand. Protect yourself.
Well, I think that's a good point too, Dan. And it's like, you and I talked about this last night a little bit too. It's like, and I said this to someone when I was recounting the situation I called you about yesterday, where it's like, I don't ever say anything, put anything in print, type anything. Like, you're not going to have anything to be able to come back and say that I was unprofessional in that way, or that I did this or I did that. Because when I have like my realtor hat on or my public facing hat on, it's like, I have to assume, and I think we all should, that anything can be recorded, documented, screen grabbed, like whatever. I mean, especially in today's day and age, it's like we have to be so mindful about how we're handling situations, what we're saying, what we're putting down, which
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah, it's like dangerous now because anybody could put up a review.
Yeah,
Right.
that's exactly right.
And
Exactly
fight
right.
and contest things. If they're wrong, fight them. Fight back. I want you guys to all hear this. It is okay to walk away from bad. It is okay to walk away from situations that don't deserve your business, don't deserve your energy, your values, your time, your mental state. I have invested hours into this lady's conversations with me. I have dwelled on it. I am the type of person that does some deep mental work. I review the entirety of a situation to make sure, because I take ownership. Like, am I wrong here? Did I even ask the AI, am I wrong here? What could I have done better? Because I take everything as a learning opportunity. Either you win or you learn. But the beautiful thing is I want you guys to learn from my opportunities here. And I don't see this as a failure. I see this as a success. Because I got out of business with crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yes, I'm going to miss the money I would have made on that deal. And I bet it would have sold because we had some great traffic. I do a damn good job marketing. But at the end of the time, I'm not going to get into bed with crazy.
Well,
The
and the
only-
remaining time you would have put into that deal, you can go get another client.
and yesterday I picked up two that are actually going to be easy to work with, that are a dream to work with because they listen, they're receptive. They understand, guys, we all have a ton of value to give, a ton. But if people aren't willing to listen to your expertise, they're probably not a good fit. If people aren't willing to get advice and follow it, they're probably not a good fit. So, Rachel, what was your question?
Yeah, I wanted to know just what was it that you maybe hints that you saw in working with this woman that like in the future, if you see those again, that you'll know, oh, that reminded me of that time and I should break out of this deal. I shouldn't work with this person. You know what I mean?
So here's some things to talk about. Anthony's got a point to it too. I'll let Anthony share first.
That's funny because I had the same situation come up and I saw the writing on the wall because I've been through this kind of stuff like that. She said some specific words and I'm like, you know what? It sounds like you're being coached, but that's okay. I'm going to release you from our agreement. And I emailed her. So it's just through experience, you'll catch some buzzwords and you're like, I've been through that before.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me and Rachel, I'll tell you, is this situation is she used, and that's what I was good up until yesterday. And when I got the message yesterday with her saying, I trusted you, you threatened me. Absolutely not. There is absolutely zero threats that I've ever made for you. I trusted you. Instead, you threatened me. No, I'm out. At that point, I already know where this is about to go.
So it was literally up to the point when she said that you threatened her, but prior to that, there was nothing that you could kind of tell that this woman.
I know difficult. Difficult's not crazy. Not I don't want to say crazy because that's a very bad term and some people take offense to it. But when I say crazy, it's crazy to my life, not because they have mental problems or mental health issues, but crazy like, wow, that was crazy. Right? Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to diagnose someone or tell someone that they have mental issues, but the same, right, is, victim mentality, I don't deal with very well. Judgment, beratement, harassment, aggression, don't deal with it very well. I get that we are in a high stress industry. People will make decisions based on their emotional state at that moment, and sometimes that's not the best state to be in. Now, I've dealt with high stress. I've dealt with difficult. I've dealt with aggression. I've dealt with all of them. But there gets to a point where you're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm out. I make the call because listen to your gut. You may not remember the situation, but your subconscious did. Like Anthony said, well, this seems like you're doing something, but I'm just going to walk away. I'm good. Her erratic messaging for the last couple of weeks, and I just honestly, when I told her, don't sell the house, you know what? Don't sell the house. It was because I knew she was spiraling, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think it's the smart idea for you to sell the house. I honestly wanted her to come back and say, you know what, Dan, I don't want to sell the house. Fantastic. I'll pull it off the market. When we first had our consultation, I asked her, are you sure selling the house is the right thing? Because you won't be able to rent a house similar to this anywhere close to what you're paying now. She's paying $1,400 and some odd dollars a month. And she's living in a really nice house. To rent that same house, you're looking at $2,200 a month. So now I've saved her $800 a month. Plus, she owns it and she's creating equity. She has solar, so it's monthly saving her money there too.
You have a dog, Dan?
Do I have a dog?
Does she?
Two.
Two dogs?
Two dogs.
What kind? How big are these dogs? I just want to know what I'm up against when I go take this lockbox off.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go rescue them from her.
No, I just want to know the situations I'm walking into.
Really big bulldog, really big mastiff, both very old.
Okay, cool.
Very old. Sweet as pie. They bark, but they're sweet as pie.
Cool beans.
But that's the thing, is it she won't come to the door. She doesn't answer the door, so you just take the lockbox off the door and just bail. That's why I said don't even worry about the key. I'll mail the key back to her. That way she can't say, well, you left my key unexposed. You left my house, unsecured. No. I took the lockbox in the office. I put the key in an envelope and I put it in the post box, which is federally protected. Guys, don't ever put yourself in a trick bag situation because she left the key for me underneath a planter. She goes, the spare key's underneath the owl on the front porch. I'm all, okay, that's safe.
Mm.
So now, instead of putting the key back there, which would then leave us exposed, I'm going to bring it all the way back. I will pay the $1 for the stamp, put it in our mailbox, and here's your key.
Certified signature.
Yeah, we could do a certified signature too. That's a good call. Just walk over to the post box, pay $3. The post office is right next to us, so that's a good idea. Certified. So,
would this be a potential subject to deal?
One second, Rachel. No, absolutely not. Get your mindset out. We're not talking investments right now, Rachel. I love that you're thinking that way.
I'm just wondering because you said she owes money on it.
Subject to, you can never tell me how subject to would benefit my seller. Ever. Even
I don't know. I was just taking some creative finance investor groups and they talk about it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Excuse me for asking.
When you understand subject to, you know it's a terrible idea for the seller. So research it. Well, guys, we went 10 minutes over. Today was a long rant on what not to do. Protect yourselves, protect your energy. Be liberal with that block button, right? Blockity block, get out of my life. Thank you so much for all that you guys do, and I'm glad that we can learn and grow together. We can talk about subject to for you guys don't know what it is. Raise your hand if you don't know what subject to is. Well, most of you know. Good.
Seller-backed financing.
Kinda. So, all right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bright and squirrely.